get this done, and we're gonna do it right. 'Cause sing a song is the way we go. Okay. Where to start, eh? I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can instantly tell that I got glasses. Yes, I got two pairs of glasses recently, which in itself isn't a big thing. I've had glasses before, but when I was much younger. In fact, I'm trying to think the last time I actually had glasses was probably in senior school, and yeah, I had glasses for a short period. I'm long-sighted, and that kind of obviously gives you a little weakness in the close-up section of your eyesight, something not a lot of people deal with. A lot of people deal with short-sightedness. Those are the people you'll see wearing glasses all the time. But myself, I am long-sighted, and I have a astigmatism in my right eye, which is exacerbated by tiredness. And recently, I've been working longer hours, so thus my tiredness kind of has increased a fair amount. Just going to light a candle. That's the sound you can hear behind me. Right, okay. Maybe I won't light this candle. This candle's not liking it. There we go. So, I got glasses. So I'm getting used to the idea of wearing glasses for close-up work. I don't have to wear them all the time. I essentially wear them as and when I need them. But, you know, it's strange. It's strange having something on my face, which is a weird thing to say considering I have a beard. And having a beard is stuff on your face all the time, but I don't feel it. I don't get that feeling that a lot of people have having a beard, where they're saying, oh, it's itchy and I can't grow it because it's scratchy and it just feels weird on my face. Even in summer, I don't get that scratchy feeling, which a lot of people get. I think I've just been blessed with a calm beard, which just wants to sit there and chill out. Maybe it's just like me, it just wants to sit and chill out, right? Who knows in this crazy world. But the reason I mentioned my glasses was I got thinking about how many people I've seen with damaged glasses, and you don't see a lot of that nowadays. It's like a trope of films that someone has broken or damaged glasses, especially when they're quite young. But then being quite young, you can only imagine that they damage their glasses in stupid ways, or someone else damages their glasses. It's that classic bully, takes your glasses off, snaps them in half, gives you them back. Or, you fall out of something, or fall into something, or fall onto something, or into someone, and maybe not into someone when you're that young. And then, yeah, you've got damaged glasses. But it got me thinking about this whole concept of being young and the risks you take when you're young. I am a cautious person. This is a thing which I have dealt with most of my life. And I say dealt with. It may seem weird to say I have dealt with this, but it is hindering at times to be as cautious as I am. And that's because I approach things like I approach everything else in my life, with a level of logic. And if in my brain I can't see a logistical way of doing something without getting hurt, or I can see more ways of getting hurt than not getting hurt, I won't do something, because why would I? Why would I put myself in a situation where I can be damaged? It works on an emotional level as well, which makes me a very hard person to connect with. I mean, it's self-defense, but I've done this since I was a child, even way before I was the damaged human being who stands before you today, sits before you today. I don't know why. I think as a kid, I decided at some point it wasn't worth it. I vividly remember having a conversation with some kids when I was younger, and we were climbing trees. See, I did do a few things. We were climbing trees. Quite a fun thing to do as a kid. You're basically just disrespecting your parents, because your parents always tell you, don't climb trees, you're going to get hurt. And of course, someone always gets hurt. But climbing trees, and they were going higher and higher and higher, and I stuck to the lower branches. I was happy enough. No, it didn't help that I was quite a large kid, so climbing trees was quite difficult. But in my brain, I knew I wouldn't be going any higher. And the same with when you get like a summer story, and some kid falls off a roof, and you're thinking, why were you on a roof in the first place? And yet at the same time, I have memories of people being along the lines of, we should go climb that roof. And as an adult, I've gone into abandoned buildings to photograph them. So there's a balance here of being a difference between being slightly adventurous and being slightly stupid. That's that's the only way I can comprehend it in my head, is that difference. But it's hindering because, I mean, for instance, roller coasters. I do not enjoy the sensation of falling. This is another thing. If it was Inception, I would not want to have that sensation of falling. Therefore, I would never wake up unless someone just pushed me randomly. But yeah, I don't like the idea of falling. I don't mind speed because speed can be experienced safely. I don't mind angles, being thrown about in some sort of bumper car situation or motorbike or car or anything like that. I just don't enjoy the feeling of falling. So spinning around in like centripetal force or dropping from a huge height on a roller coaster, it worries me. Because to me, the sensation of falling I associate with being injured and I associate with getting hurt. So I avoid it. I'd like to go on a roller coaster. I'd love to be a person who could just jump onto a roller coaster. I'm not even that fussed about heights. Heights don't bother me as long as I'm on a sturdy platform. I can be in a building. I can be hundreds of floors up. I can look directly down and think, I am good. Just staring at basically death, which is what a large drop is. And I can be fine. But as soon as you put me on a rope bridge, more than 10 feet off the ground, I'm second guessing of whether I want to be on that rope bridge. And then even higher up, I ain't getting on that rope bridge because why would I put myself in that situation? So I had this thought whilst I was out and I was drinking, because most stupid ideas come when you're drinking. Kids, don't drink. It's terrible. Adults, drink more. Life's not worth living. Apologies. Life is worth living. Keep living. What's the point in death? Nothing. If life is pointless, death is also pointless. So you may as well just keep living. At least that way you can have a cup of coffee once in a while. Getting back to my point, I saw some people doing some stupid things whilst drunk, and comprehending them, looking at them, I could imagine them doing it whilst they were sober. And I come across many people. I mean, as I say, I'm single, so dating people and their profiles, and they're like, oh yeah, we want to do spontaneous things. I want to go here and do things and do this and do that and the other. And yes, we should take risks and all this kind of thing. I'm thinking, to me, it seems like a bad idea. But then that's the cautiousness of me sliding its way in there and saying, yeah, this is probably a bad idea. Spontaneity is quite a hard thing for me. I do spontaneous things, but it's never truly spontaneous. It's with a calculated risk. And I just happen to be able to calculate things quite quickly because I've had nearly 28 years of experience doing it. And I remember as a child, back to the actual point of when we were climbing trees, of wondering, because I saw it as quite a stupid thing to do, to put yourself in that position of damage. Do you make an effort to be stupid? Can you make an effort to be stupid? Can you make an effort to completely ignore all your sense and logic without alcohol, and just embrace something you wouldn't embrace because it's not logical? And in a sense, I have a conflict of that. I'm a conflict of trying to, comprehend whether you could do something like that. And yet I do that every day because I'm a lover of art and abstractism and concept and expressionism. And it makes no sense. On base value, a lot of it makes no sense. This was something I discussed with Nathan a couple of podcasts ago. On face value, art makes zero sense to the average person because there's a lot of concept behind it, and you're basically just making an effort at times to be more and more abstract. And yet doing that as a person within the realm of being people is foreign to me. I just can't comprehend it. I've stood and I've watched people do things and thought, somebody's going to get hurt. There's a really dark part of me. Well, I say really dark. It's not that dark. It's like when you see someone running, and they're running kind of recklessly, and they might take someone out, and you really want them to fall. Just to prove yourself right in your head. Just to go to yourself, Yep, you were right. If you did that, that's exactly what would happen. But they don't. They never do. They never fall. They just keep going, happy as go lucky with their lives as they can be. And I understand it. It's the problem of not being able to turn your own brain off. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to turn my brain off. Because then what would I be without it? Nothing, really. And that's a sad thought, without my brain. You know, we get along well. And we sit and have an afternoon coffee and discuss the world at large and think, oh, well, this, that, and the other. And without that, well, I'm just basically just a sack of meat. Everyone has a brain. It's what we require to be human. I don't know. But then maybe making an effort to be stupid could make you happier. Making an effort to ignore your instinct can make you happy. I think that's another trope of, let's say, sitcoms and cartoons. Of usually you get someone who, they're really uptight or they're really against something. American Dad does this all the time. So you'd be watching American Dad, and if you don't know, American Dad is about a CIA agent named Stan Smith. And Stan Smith is your typical uptight, conservative, oh, well, it's not really conservative, it's the US, isn't it? Republican CIA agent. He's very guns, America, man. And that's the archetype. And that's essentially that's the joke in American Dad. And he'll come up to something and he'll not like that thing. And then by the time of something happens and suddenly he'll like that thing. He'll either fight for the entire episode or he'll embrace the thing which he didn't like, but he'll embrace it too much. He'll jump off the deep end and go, yeah, suddenly we're flying through this. We're doing this all the time. Yes, this is great, you know. Excuse me. And that's the sitcom values. Like someone who really hates handkerchiefs. And then suddenly someone convinces them that handkerchiefs are good. And then suddenly the house is filled with handkerchiefs because they're all about the handkerchiefs. And there has to be an intervention and get them off handkerchiefs. I'm using handkerchiefs as a metaphor for a lot of other things right now. I don't know why handkerchiefs. I don't even know I haven't got a handkerchief. I don't own a handkerchief. I just use tissues like any other adult. Which is hugely wasteful. I should probably stop doing that. But that's back to the point. So there is that worry that if you did ignore something which is your base value, that you would go off the deep end. I mean, you can see it happen with usually alcohol. Someone who doesn't drink a lot of alcohol is kind of against alcohol, and then someone introduces them to a party lifestyle, and then suddenly they're partying all the time, and it becomes a problem, and alcoholism, and dark, terrifying, depths of what we can do to ourselves as human beings. And I can understand that, and I can understand how you want to make more of an effort to be stupid, or maybe making an effort to be stupid is probably the wrong title for this, but it's an effort to be reckless and to ignore yourself, which I comprehend as being kind of stupid. And stupid's a weird word in itself. I think it's a lot like hate. It's lost a lot of meaning because it's become truncated in its use, essentially. Hate is a word where everyone uses it every single day. It used to be defined for something which really was huge. It was one of those things of, it was something which got you out of your seat. It was something which gave you passion, and you had to fight against it, or you had to embrace it, or you really, it was something, a word of value. And the same with stupid. Stupid was meant to be the most broken of the broken. It was meant to be something which was so ignorant and so uncomprehendable that it was given a value of stupid. And now everything's stupid. Stupid dogs, stupid hats, stupid books. It's a word which is kind of devolved. So it's almost a conglomeration of words of ignorance and it's got such a large spread, and I think it's such a word which I think everyone relates to because everyone learns it so early on when they're children. You learn stupid, so-and-so's stupid. This is stupid, that's stupid. And yet, as an adult, I feel like it's a word, it's got such a bigger representation, or it could have such a bigger representation of just complete disconnection. Letting yourself go. It's a lack of inhibition. It's a real push against everything you've developed into being a human being. Everything you learned in the last 28 years, in my case, almost 28 years. And yeah, it has such a more significant value if you think about it that way. And it's only stupid because you can't understand it. And I mean, that's how I feel. That's essentially, if I can't understand something and I can't embrace something logistically, then it's stupid. And I think that's how people use words. And I think maybe there's some value in it, in giving yourself, making an effort to be stupid. We all want to be smarter, and the world is better off if we are smarter. But mental health-wise, making an effort to be stupid could be very valuable to people. Do you agree? I mean, you can't reply right now. I'm literally sat in a room with a candle, alone. So there's not much I can really do in that sense. But who knows? Ignorance does breed bliss. That is what they say, and it's true. And if ignorance is perhaps stupid, then maybe making yourself a little, well, not making yourself a little more stupid, but allowing yourself time to be stupid is the key. Letting yourself go. Letting yourself be that little bit stupid. I think you should allow yourself to be made fun of at times. I imagine I come across as quite a serious person. But I do a lot of things which allow me to be made fun of. Because there's different aspects to personality. Nobody's one thing all the time. Maybe I should make a little bit more effort to be stupid, spontaneous, ignorant to myself. Not ignorant to the world. Don't misconstrue that, but ignorant to myself. And maybe if I do that, be a little bit happier. But then maybe happiness is stupid in itself, because I can't understand it. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I'd love to hear if you could embrace the stupid and, truly face the things which you ignore, or maybe the things which you have full control of. Maybe Halloween's the weekend for that. I'll talk to you guys later.